Hi, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of Talking Dental Innovation. I'm Justin with Sinclair Dental. I want to welcome my guest speaker today. It's Luke from Medicom Canada. Hi, Luke.
Hi, Justin. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Any snow in your part of the country?
What's that?
Any snow in your part of the country?
Oh, yes. We got bombarded there in the last week with the rain today and ice bullets, everything. Welcome to the Maritimes.
Yeah, exactly.
So the reason I was very anxious to have Luke with us today is I wanted to bring a really good refresher and a really good up-to-date on PPE. So Medicom has been working some new innovations in the mask field for the last year, and I think it's going to be a great new product to bring to the market to help out all of the clinics in the Maritime, and obviously the rest of Canada. So Luke, to start off with, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do with Medicom, and then after that we can start off by having just a quick maybe update about gloves, where we at, because it seems to be a big topic, and masks themselves.
All right. Well, thanks for joining, everyone. Like Justin said, my name is Luke Premont. I'm with Medicom for 3 years now. Used to be somewhere else in the competition world. I'm the national sales director for Medicom for the dental only. So I'll be able to talk to you a little bit about the N95 today and the difference between the procedural mask and the N95.
Perfect. So before we go with the masks, can we get a little? I know gloves has been getting better and better in terms of stock. Where are we at with gloves? Are we going to have more issues later on in the year? Because I know COVID is not leaving, and there's always talk about disturbance in shipping. So what should we be worried about, or are we going to be okay from going forward?
I'd say the biggest issues are gone. There's still some issues, like you said, shipping, containers being stuck in ports all over the world. Those are delays. COVID, even though we don't like the word, this one affects a little bit more people in the warehouse. There's people missing because of that, but it's getting better now. But if sometimes there's back orders and things like that, it's mainly because of issues with transports and things like that. But I'd say for to have the mask in the warehouse, we have plenty of stock. If it's not the mask but the gloves as well. If there's problems with one sort of glove, one kind of glove you're using, they're probably going to be something similar. We'll be able to transfer, but there's not going to be the craziness that we had in 2020 with a lot of gloves that didn't show up. You didn't know, there was back order all over the place. I think that part is gone. Prices are coming down as well tremendously. So in the next 3 to 6 months, you'll see still, well, there's already an increase in not an increase, but a decrease of price. Decrease going to continue. So I think we're in a good path to be continuously being able to support you guys with gloves. That's no problem there.
Good, perfect. Yeah, I know the promotions are, a lot of them are back on. I know the price went down. Some as much as 50%. They dropped in half compared to last year, which is great, and it keeps on being more. The stock, it seems to be more available for everybody, which is great. So hopefully it will keep on that trend, right? So
exactly. I think all the manufacturers started to respond better to the demand, but like anything else, the demand is still pretty heavy. But we're in a better position than what we were in 2020. And as for gloves and masks, I don't see any problem this year coming up this year.
Right, perfect. And yeah, and the other big thing we want to talk about was the N95. And the big reason why I find it so important now is that, you know, when we started off, the N95 masks were highly recommended for certain procedures, or if not all the time in the dental clinic. The big issue that we had was there was a limited amount of companies that were producing them and producing them well. The other issues was, even if they came out with a mask, it doesn't mean that it was sustainable. Doesn't mean that, you know, if somebody ordered a few boxes, that they were able to get, you know, let's say they got fit tested, everything was great. It doesn't mean that they were able to, you know, procure this mask, you know, 6 months down the road.
Exactly.
They were, you know, I wouldn't say fly-by-night companies, but not known companies.
Mm-hmm.
So for you guys right now, Medicom, it's, you know, everybody knows who Medicom is. I know, right? They have a great factory in Montreal. So for me, it's kind of really exciting because my customers can rely on a more sustainable, long-term solution. So
Yep.
yeah, I'd like to know about this new N95 mask. It's something that we're going to have in stock with Sinclair very soon, but I think it's going to be a very good, sustainable solution for a very long time.
Absolutely. So we were producing that mask last year. As you know, we opened. The problem was, you know, at the beginning of the pandemic, is that all the plant that we have across the world, a lot of them stopped, you know, sending those masks and kept them for themselves, even though it was our plant. You know, it was in Asia was the case, and in France as well. We had only one plant in the US that we were able to get, you know, for them to provide masks to Canada. So because of that, Medicom decided to not be in that position anymore. So in Canada, we opened the mask in Montreal. Yeah, it took 3 months, and we started producing masks, mainly for frontline worker. Now with the N95 that we're producing, we are introducing it to the dental world, as well as the frontline worker. And we were approved NIOSH in October 2021. And we have stock. We have stock for dental. And I think products going to be coming in your warehouse in a very short notice. So that will be available for you guys.
Perfect. And talking about NIOSH approved, you know, during the last few months, I had customers, you know, sharing with me, you know, I was able to get, you know, masks from Canadian Tire or Home Hardware or Costco or Home Depot or whichever, not from a medical supplier source. How can they know if this is really a NIOSH approved mask, or if this is, you know, let's say not a counterfeit, or it's really going to protect them like they're expecting a NIOSH approved mask too?
Yeah, if you I would share, you know, a link that I have that you can show people. I'll share my screen in a second, and I have like I don't know if you can see this now.
Yep.
So this is something, you know, that, you know, I'll send to you, and if you want to share with your customers, that would be interesting. So it's a counterfeit respirator, and it's a way, you know, it's a link that you can see all the NIOSH non-approved respirator, but there's signs that respirator that you can see here that respirator may be counterfeit. So there's no marking at all on the filtering piece, face piece respirator. There's no approved TC number on the filtering face piece respirator or headbands. There's no NIOSH marking. NIOSH is spelled incorrectly. There's presence of decorative fabric or other decorative adds-on, which is not supposed to be on NIOSH. There's claim of approval for children. NIOSH does not approve any mask for children. And the filtering piece respirator has an ear loop instead of headbands, you know. So if you see NIOSH mask with ear loops, that doesn't exist. It's only headbands. So and there's other tips that you can see, and there's pictures of masks here that are not approved. So they seem legit, honestly, the way the marketing is done around it. but it is not a case. It's not those are not NIOSH approved. So I'll share that with you, Justin, and
Yes.
if you want to send that to your customer or put that on the website, it would be interesting, I think, to
Definitely.
see.
Perfect.
It's good information.
Awesome. Perfect. So yeah, tell us more about your approved NIOSH mask.
Yeah, I'm gonna share my screen again, and I'll show you a little PowerPoint of our mask that we have here in Montreal that we're doing in Montreal. So I'm gonna go right to and I'll do this like this. So Medicom mask manufacturing value proposition. So we design and do the development of the mask. The manufacturing is made in Montreal. We have the quality material. We take our own material, and soon enough, in a few months, we'll have a plant that makes our own material.
Wow.
So we won't have to go abroad to have our material. So we'll have the control on everything. And
start to finish.
And efficiency is that we've been doing masks for years across the world. We have 10 plants across the world that are doing masks. So we have an expertise that it's beyond a lot of other companies. Now here, we had, like I was saying before, NIOSH certification was done in October 2021. So this is a big thing for us. So this is the mask that we're going to see. You're going to see in the market that is going to be available at Sinclair. It's the SafeMask Architect Pro. It's a duck build mask. There's 3 sizes available: small, medium, and large. It's presently was mainly for frontline worker in healthcare facilities, and now, like I said, it's going to be available for the dental people. So what's interesting, and it's made in Montreal in Canada. That's fun to know. It's not coming from abroad. What's interesting to see is that the duck-built face mask, that the N95 that we have is very, very comfortable compared to other companies. We did lately a test at the General Jewish Hospital in Montreal. They had I don't know how many kind of mask N95 that they had to choose from, and at the end of the fit test and the test they did with the mask, they choose Medicom. And it was a plus for us. And the biggest the positive point about it was how comfortable and light it was compared to other N95 masks. So I think it's going to be something interesting. When you put it on, it's really interesting, very nice and lightweight. So there's a unique single clit comfort band. So this band comes, it looks like one band only, but it's being split. All you have to do is split it in 2, and then you can put your face mask.
So is that elastic, or is that you have to tie it?
No, it's a stretching.
The band. Okay, perfect. Okay.
Lightweight, breathable construction, like I said, I think is the biggest point. And there's a doctor in Montreal, a dentist, that sent me a demand. Okay, when are they going to be available? Because one of my rep went there and haven't tried the mask, and he says it's the only mask I can put and my magnifying glass with it that is comfortable and doesn't bother me. So he said this is a plus for me, as well as the breathability and the lightweight construction. So I think it's another plus. So what's the difference between the N95 and the procedural L3 mask, and how it protects better? Well, first of all, it's the fit test. The tight fit doesn't leave anything coming in and out of your mask. L3 usually protects you from airborne particle and spray and so on, and the N95 protects as well the you from, giving you're preventing other people from being exposed to the bacteria as well. On the plus is that you protect people, but you protect it yourself as well. That's the difference between.
It's two ways.
Yeah, two ways. So available small, medium, and large. About 70% of the people will use a medium size. It fits about about 70% of the faces, morphology of people. The small size about 20% and 20 to 25%, and the large it's only about 5% of the population.
Okay. So how many masks per box?
There's 50 masks per box, and there's 10 boxes of masks per case.
Okay.
And those masks can be wear for about 5 hours if you're not doing any procedure with it. Say somebody in the clinic would do something, not working with patients, they would be able to wear that mask for 5 hours. If you're doing procedural, with patients, well, it's the same thing. Then an L3 procedural mask, you have to change it every time.
Can it be reused?
No,
you can't. Okay.
No.
Because I know that was at the start when the N95s were very sparse, to get. Some were recommending to put the N95s in, let's say, a bag, sealed bag, and then wait for a few hours and then reuse it again. It's not the situation.
No, and you have to think about cross-contamination as well.
Yeah.
It's the same, it's the same thing than the procedural mask, really. If you work, I don't know if you've seen the it's not a movie, it's kind of a little movie, it's a little video. It's If Saliva Were Red. It was made in a university, and they put dye in a patient's mouth, and you see the splatter of saliva
everywhere. Yeah,
that are red now. It's an old thing. Apparently, the OSAP will do a new one, more because that one was made in the 60s or something.
Yeah,
there's things they don't do anymore in the practice.
I saw one where it was green. It wasn't red. It was green, but it was quite alarming. Yeah.
So anyway, that being said, if you see all the splatter that are going on, we don't see the splatter, but they're there. So if there's splatter of saliva in your mask, and so of course you can't reuse it with another patient.
Some were using. They wanted to make their N95 mask last, so they were putting 1 or 2 level 3 masks on top to reuse the N95.
Yeah.
Is that a trick, or is that something to stay away from? Or, I mean, you're still using extra 2 masks, right? I mean, it's not
well, one thing for sure, you're going to protect most probably your N95 from splatter if you do that. But the fact is, the N95, when there's a fit test being done, if you touch your mask, probably it's going to open the side of it. So you're not being protected. You're going to protect the splatter from your mask, but you're not going to protect yourself and others, because your fit test isn't going to fit anymore, because that's going to put a pressure on your mask and opens some leak all over it. So I don't think it's something to do.
Okay.
And the mask you're going to put in, you're going to have to throw it away anyway. So
somebody that has an N95 mask that's not fit tested. What's the difference from that to, let's say, a level 3? Is there a big difference, or?
There's not much difference. No. If you don't fit test your mask, there's not much difference. If you have a beard like me, you can't use a N95. It's not going to be it's not going to be a tight fit for sure.
So we can't hire you for clinical work anytime soon. Is that what you were saying?
Nope. I'm going to wear a L3, a nice Medicom L3.
Perfect. Well, but no, it's great. I'm really looking forward to be sending off your information about the N95 mask soon. Hopefully, we'll have them in stock in the next week or 2, or sooner or a little later. For me, again, the biggest thing is it's going to be made locally in Canada, and it's going to be available for a long time. Because it's frustrating to do, to go through all the procedure of getting fit tested. And the other thing as well is all the other masks that we have, some work really, really well, but we don't have multiple sizes. Now with Medicom, multiple sizes is going to work out. I know I had one customer, she was up to her, I think, 5th mask that she tried on, and she never passed a fit test. Yeah. So obviously different shapes, different sizes will make a big difference. Exactly. So
and there's a lot of trick to, we have a nice website. If you put the N95 Architect Pro, there's a lot of things you can learn from it, even more than what we talked today. And I think that would be interesting for your customers to go and look at. The website's very complete, and there's of course other stuff that you can look up in the website.
Well, sounds good. Well, thank you very much for all the information you share with us today. I think everybody needed a quick refresher about N95s. I think it's been the top of the mind for everybody. It's an area that I've seen, some were wearing very big respirators, and it's very heavy. It's hard to communicate, and they just want something that's going to be very safe for them long term, that can work every day, that's not going to hurt them with a big heavy respirator that's going to pull on their neck. So I think it's going to be very important for a very long time to have a really nice, comfortable mask. I'm happy that the design that you're offering is improving that comfort as well. And again, it's going to be one that is certified, and we're going to have the the certainty and the comfort of knowing we're dealing with a good product. So thank you so much for sharing everything with us.
I'll add a little bit that if they want samples of that mask, they can reach out to you, or you can then reach out to me. We're not sending boxes of it, but we'll be able to send a few masks, so they can try and then see how comfortable they are. And we have another rep, that Michael Tandino, that I believe so that I'll be able to provide those masks. We'll send it by transport, and they'll be able to have those masks within a week or something like that.
And it's a big advantage, because for forever, I mean, since COVID, the ones that wanted to get the fit tested, they needed to buy a full box, and if they couldn't get their mask to fit well and pass the test, they were stuck with that box. Unfortunately, it was an open box, and samples were not available. So with having these few samples, it's going to be a lot easier for all my customers to get these fit tests, especially if there's 3 sizes, right? So that right one. Perfect. Well, thanks again, Luke, and I'm going to wish you a great rest of the week, and we'll definitely be in communication to get everybody comfortable in their new masks.
Cool. All right. Thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.